runs like shit when you do that. So there we go. That was quick. All right. YouTube should be started now. Let me grab my iPad though. Where is my iPad? Why, yes, he did. Hopefully it's charged. I like to use this too so we could look up things if we need to. It is not charged, but I'll plug it in right now. All right. All righty then. I think we're all situated. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everyone on TikTok. Good morning if you're joining us over on the YouTube. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Wednesday. It's hump day, so that means it's dump day. So tonight we'll get to see Joel, and that's fun. I love Wednesdays for that. Anyway, we're going to be starting in chapter 14 in Numbers. Last week we were in chapter 13, and that's where we found out that, gosh darn it, all the Nephilim did not actually die in the flood. Oh no, God failed again. Oops. So this week, let's find out. The people rebel. Hey, Mama Bash, if you want to come up, you can. Any friendly who wants to come up. Hey, Zach, can come up and join. I just, read the Bible. We talk about it. If you have questions, I'll be happy to look them up. I love to look up rabbinical teachings since we're in the Old Testament and things like that. I have invited the wonderful rabbis to join us, and hopefully they will, if they have time today, come over. Hi, Mama Bash. How are you?
Good morning, Crystal.
Good morning. We are in Numbers chapter 14 this morning.
Okay.
Numbers chapter 14. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start reading. I like to stop at each paragraph, and then if we have any questions or comments, anything you want me to look up, words or references or anything, I'm happy to look them up, and we'll see what we learn about the Israelites today. Then all the congregation raised a loud cry, and the people wept that night. And all the Israelites complained against Moses and Aaron. The whole congregation said to them, "Would that we had died in the land of Egypt, or would that we had died in the wilderness. Why is the Lord bringing us into this land to fall by the sword? Our wives and our little ones will become booty. Would it not be better for us to go back to Egypt?" So they said to one another, "Let us choose a captain and go back to Egypt." I always think of Keith Green's song, "So You Want to Go Back to Egypt," when I'm reading this story. It was one of my favorite songs as a Christian. I don't know why. Keith Green, he could play that piano. I like that. Oh, yay. Thank you, Tahir. Big W, the chat for Tahir. We are now up over on the Deconstruction Junction YouTube channel as well. Good morning, everybody over at the Deconstruction Junction. Don't forget, if you do send a super chat over there, I don't receive any of the proceeds, but your proceeds go to help people in the community. So send them anyway. If I can't, I will read them out over here. I'll check every once in a while, and I'll read them out for you guys. Okay, so I just don't think that they're wrong. Like, I think I would be complaining too. You made us go through all of this for what? And I think it is crazy that normal human emotions. Oh, thank you, Zach. Oh, I forgot. I should change my gift goal. I don't make people do that gift goal on non-believers Bible study. I usually do something a lot simpler for everybody. Let's Let's do these little boo ghosts. They are cute. We'll do those. Okay. So personally, I would complain too. Thank you, Zach. I appreciate you. If you guys aren't following, Zach is a voice actor, and he does a lot of his voice acting live, so you get to listen to him, and it's amazing. And he is a part of our deconstruction community through Joyful Apostate. So yeah, make sure you follow him. He's amazing. I love hearing him on panels because his voice is just... We have the best voice. I mean, not me personally. My voice can be annoying. I have a cartoon voice. But like Bash and Thinker and Zach and Ems and like, well, there's so many good voices in the community. Oh, you are? That's awesome, Zach. I can't wait. I got to watch. I'm going to be live tomorrow night with Joyful for a special Halloween edition. So I hope you all will join in.
I think I would complain too, and if you look at the context here, God's like, hey, Abraham, or hey, Moses, I like you guys so much. I want you guys to have lots of room. So I'm going to go ahead and just give you all this territory that already belongs to other people. Don't worry. Like you have to go G-side them. In fact, go spy it out, go see if the land is good, go see if the people are tough. But no matter what the outcome is, I just want you to know how good of a land it is. And all you have to do is go G-side them. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. That's all, right? And then after you've done, like, because you've already, like, he's just put you through so much. Remember, this is the God who put them into slavery, too. He likes to remind them that he got them out. But when you read the story, he put them in it because that was part of the plan all along. So everything they've gone through, has been at the hands of this God.
But don't worry, you'll win. You just have to fight.
Yeah, exactly.
When I think about all the times that these chapters were used in church to teach the message of the danger and evils of unbelief, right? Because Caleb's we're well able to go up and take these people, but the rest are like, we look like grasshoppers compared to these guys. And the message, the moral was always like, you are not a grasshopper compared to these things. You have to believe the Lord. But if you don't, then it's like, how long will these people rebel against me and not believe? Right? So it's anyway, it's a threat. It's a threat of not believing.
That was the topic I was trying to run yesterday. I've been having now that I'm doing a non-believers Bible study, I literally have a non-believer in my guest box. But when I'm running the topics, they won't come up. And my topic was that this religion is based on fear and shame, not love. It's not about love. It's about fear and shame. All right, let's go on verse 5. Then Moses and Aaron fell on their faces before all the assembly of the congregation of the Israelites. And Joshua, son of Nun, and Caleb, son of Jephunneh, or I guess, who were among those who, how's it?
I was just making a joke. I said Jephunneh.
Oh, okay, yeah. Jephunneh, who were among those who had spied out the land, tore their clothes and said to all the congregation of the Israelites, the land that we went through as spies is an exceedingly good land. If the Lord is pleased with us, he will bring us into the land and give it to us, a land that flows with milk and honey. Only do not rebel against the Lord, and do not fear the people of the land, for they are no more than bread for us. Their protection is removed from them, and the Lord is with us. Do not fear them. But the whole congregation threatened to stone them.
I'd pick up a rock.
Pick up a rock too. Fuck you. You guys keep promising us shit, and all we have done is struggle for generations. Stop, Yeah.
All you have to do is pick up your sword, leave your home, go over there, and just start fighting them. Don't worry, you'll win.
Yeah. Then the glory of the Lord appeared at the tent of the meeting to all the Israelites. And the Lord said to Moses, how long will the people despise me? Well, hey, Yahweh, maybe quit being a dick, okay? I don't know. Just giving you a little tip there, okay? And how long will they refuse to believe in me in spite of all the signs that I have done among them? I will strike them with pestilence and disinherit them. And I will make of you a nation greater and mightier than they. So, okay. John, please.
God is such a
flash.
Oh,
Don't
sorry.
spam my. I'm sorry. That's okay. Don't spam my chat, please. That's how you get booted from my chat. It's okay to come in.
God is such a pick me. You know, like he's like, why do you hate me? You hate me, don't you? Are you mad at me? I did all this for you. All I want you to do is a G side.
He sounds like an abusive husband. Every time I read his words, it reminds me of my first husband so much, because he would do something completely fucking asinine and then go, I know, I'm just such a fuck up. Why do you hate me or whatever? You're trying to garner sympathy instead of just like being a decent human being and fixing whatever it is that you fucked up and apologizing sincerely. Now you want me to go, oh no, I don't think you're a fuck up. I love you. You know, that's a manipulation tactic. And that's all Yahweh does, is use manipulation against these people instead of just loving them and making himself lovable and desirable. How about if you just admit that you're not all powerful, you're not all knowing, and you're not all loving? How about you just start there, Yahweh? All right. Moses intercedes for the people. These little titles are obviously not in the Bible. They're just in my NRSV Bible. But Moses said to the Lord, then the Egyptians will hear of it, for in your might you brought up this people from among them, and they will tell the inhabitants of this land. They have heard that you, O Lord, are in the midst of this people, for you, O Lord, are seen face to face. And your cloud stands over them, and you go in front of them, in a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. Now, if you kill this people all at one time, then the nations who have heard about you will say, it is because of the Lord was not able to bring this people into the land he swore to give them, that he has slaughtered them in the wilderness. And now, therefore, let the power of the Lord be great in the way that you promised when you spoke, saying, the Lord is slow to anger and abounding in steadfast love, forgiving iniquity and transgressions, but by no means clearing the guilty, visiting the iniquity of the parents upon the children to the third and fourth generation. Forgive the iniquity of the people according to the greatness of your steadfast love, just as you have pardoned this people from Egypt, even until now.
So Moses is like stroking God's ego here, because he's like, if you unalive all your people because you can't control your temper, then all the Gentiles are going to be like, Yahweh couldn't even bring his people into the land.
Yeah.
You know, what a weak God. And God's like, well.
Hey, Zach, how are you?
Hey, fam. How you doing, Crystal? Good to see you. Good to hear you. Thanks for bringing me up. What's going on, Phil?
I like how he's talking to you about, here we are going to punish them to the third or fourth generation. Haven't we said already we're not going to do that? But now we are? What?
Classic. All these things Yahweh. It makes it so obvious that this is man-made, these stories. Right? You know, and this is the thing that always baffles me as we study through these things. It's just like, man, this is so clearly made by man. These are legends, these are mythologies, these are stories made by man, written and recorded by man. And that's why we see these flaws and these massive holes in logic and morality and all of these things. And yet people hold to these as historical claims so often, and it's just bizarre.
It is. It's really, and it makes me like because I consider myself to be a relatively intelligent woman. How the
Yeah,
fuck
you
did
are.
I believe this shit for so
I know.
long? You know what I
I
mean?
know.
I'm like,
I know. Me too.
what?
Me too. Yeah. Well, I think
But
it's
then I
it's
remember
yeah,
I was indoctrinated, and when the
exactly.
people you trust the most are telling you this is true, I know it sounds ridiculous, but it is true,
Well,
then you
that was
believe
it.
it because you're a
That's
kid.
it. That's exactly right, and that's for me too. Like that's what you get indoctrinated from a young age, and then you're just like, oh well, mom and dad believe this, and they say that it's historical and true, and that all scientists agree with it, and all archaeologists agree with it, and so I'm just going to believe them and not check those things. And then when you start to try, the problem is like me. It's like, well, I'm going to go prove all of that right. I go to seminary, go start studying textual criticism. I'm like, oh shit, we don't know. Oh shit, there's a lot of people who disagree with this. Oh wow, this is pretty errant. So,
Yeah,
but
it's
most don't do the
wild.
work. Most don't do the work. They're just comfortable in their indoctrinated state.
No, it's true. And I think that, to be honest with you, I think sometimes you think you're doing the work because you don't realize, well, at least for me, I didn't realize an apologist's whole goal was to massage the text to make it make sense. I thought they were like Bible scholars who studied it deeper than I could or whatever, you know?
Right.
And so I turned to apologists because I thought that their information, was
Me
not
too.
biased, guys, I guess.
Yeah.
But how stupid. It obviously that's not true, you guys, I do have a little flash goal. If you don't mind sending me one ice cream cone, it's one coin. I just need 7 of you to do it. Also, keep tapping the screen and sharing out the live. All right, we're going to go to verse 20 here. Oh, so he is visiting the iniquities up to the 4th generation now. And he says, forgive the iniquity of this people according to the greatness of your steadfast love, just as you have pardoned this people from Egypt even until now. I just like to point out that they cannot stop guilting this people that he freed them from Egypt. He put them there. He's the reason they were there. It's just like when Christians say, well, who freed the slaves in America? Who enslaved the slaves in America?
Right.
Let's remember that part, okay? Hey, La Paquette, how are you? Then the Lord said, I do forgive, just as you have asked. Nevertheless, as I live, and as the earth shall be filled with the glory of the Lord, none of the people who have seen my glory and the signs that I did in Egypt and in the wilderness, and yet have tested me these 10 times and have not obeyed my voice, shall see the land that I swore to give to their ancestors. None of those who despise me shall see it. But my servant Caleb, because he has a different spirit and has followed me wholeheartedly, I will bring into the land into which he went, and his descendants shall possess it. Now, since the Amalekites and the Canaanites live in the valleys, turn tomorrow and set out for the wilderness by the way of the Red Sea. Let me tell you something. Fuck a God who tells me that I have to follow him, and then I do it for all those years. And because at my first sign of doubt, he says, no, I'm not going to give you what I promised you all these years that you've worked so hard for, that people have hated you for, where you have struggled, you have starved, you have thirsted, you have begged, you have pleaded, you have negotiated for the people. No, you don't get to see the promised land. Like, God, he's such a jerk.
There's also this narcissistic thing he does where he says, I do forgive, just as you asked. Like, you're right, Moses. I do forgive. Nevertheless, I'm not going to do it. I'm still going to have the title and the reputation of being a forgiving God, but I'm not actually going to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
And for what purpose? For what purpose? And how different is this from the God of the New Testament that Paul describes, where it's this abounding grace, and no matter how bad you are and how many times you forget, he's faithful despite your faithlessness. And it's like, it's such a contradiction, the God of the Old Testament and the God of the New Testament.
It is. It's such a contradiction. It's as if they didn't really read this text and just made it up because he wasn't a Jew, so he didn't know. I'm just like, what are you talking about? You know, like it was, you know how like you listen to our people in the deconstruction community, and no matter how far you deconstruct, somebody will say something, you'll go, what?
Totally.
So I did not realize that the only person who ever talks about grace is Paul.
Yep. That's
God
Pauline.
and Jesus never talk about grace. And I'm like, what are you talking about? But yeah, Life Beyond Belief, I love them. I learned that on their live. I was like, what? And it's true. Like they don't, only Paul talks about grace. Jesus, God never promised you grace. That's not from them. That's from Paul.
I was just pondering this actually like last night. I was thinking deeply about it, that the religion that we really espouse ourselves to in modern American Protestant Christianity, particularly in Reformed circles that I grew up in, is really Paulite, not Christian. Yes. Because Paul's teachings differ from Christ's. Christ's talk about how to live. He at least has values in his teachings. I mean, you know, the legend of Christ, whether he existed or not, we don't know.
But the ones that we know as his teachings, sure.
Right. Those legendary teachings actually prescribe values and morals and standards to live by. He's not talking about grace the way that Paul does. Paul really reframed Christianity, or whoever Paul actually was, reframed Christianity to be this
whoever that was.
Yeah, exactly. So they actually they contradict just the Gospels verses of Paul's letters, and it's like, what are we following here? And if you try to take any Christian to task, they're like, oh, no, it all works. And then they've got to do all these gymnastics to make it fit. I mean, it's no different than any other cult that has to make their stuff fit with reality.
It's true. It's really true. Yeah, you're right, though, Atheist. He goes, then the Lord said, I do forgive just as you have asked. Nevertheless, as I live and as all the earth shall be filled with the glory of the Lord, none of the people who have seen my glory and the signs that I did in Egypt and then in the wilderness, and yet have tested me these 10 times and have not obeyed my voice, shall see the land. So I'm going to say I forgive you, but actually not do anything that shows forgiveness, and then I still get to be known as forgiving, and I still get to punish you.
Jeez, that's so tyrannical. That's so tyrannical. It's insane and narcissistic.
It's insane. It is, and we would not accept this from anybody. But we go, but he's God, so gotta accept that from him.
Everything. Yeah, it's fine because he created everything, and morality is suspended when it comes to God.
Yeah, it's so weird. And the Lord spoke to Moses and to Aaron, saying, how long shall this wicked congregation complain against me? Well, maybe, like I said, quit being a dick and it would stop, but I don't know. That's just me. I have heard the complaints of the Israelites, which they complain against me. Say to me, as I live, says the Lord, I will do to you the very things I heard you say. Your dead body shall fall in this very wilderness, and of all your number included in the census from 20 years old and upward who have complained against me, not one of you shall come into the land in which I swore to settle you, except Caleb, son of Jephunneh, and Joshua, son of Nun. But your little ones who you said would become booty, I will bring in, and they shall know that the land that you have despised. They shall know the land that you have despised. But as for you, your dead body shall fall in the wilderness, and your children shall be shepherds in the wilderness for 40 years, and shall suffer for your faithlessness, until the last of your dead bodies lies in the wilderness, according to the number of the days in which you spied out the land, 40 days. For every day a year you shall bear your iniquity 40 years, and you shall know my displeasure. I, the Lord, have spoken. Surely I will do thus to all this wicked congregation gathered together against me in the wilderness. They shall come to a full end, and there they shall die. Man. I can't read Hebrew names, Caleb. I am so horrible at it. I'm so sorry that I butchered that, Caleb.
It's okay, though, because that's a dead language. So we can really pronounce them whatever way makes sense to you.
You. And when my rabbi friends are here, they do lovingly correct me. They are so sweet, and they put up with me. And I would like to learn Hebrew, and when I do, then I guess I'll get better at it then. Okay, I don't know how to say that name. I have no idea. So they're gonna die. They're gonna die in the wilderness. Their bodies are gonna pile up. It's just, I don't know. This whole. I don't find stories in the Bible that I go, oh, I love that story. That is so relatable and gives me hope. I never feel that way walking away from these stories. And I didn't, even as a Christian, I did question a lot of stories. But like I said, I listened to apologetics, and then it would at least appease me for a while, I guess. But like, what do you find in this story redeeming? I've done everything you've asked. I'm sorry. I got upset and complained because Egypt, we worked hard, but we also had really good food and there was good music and the people were cool. You know, like, what? Of course, people, when you're miserable, you're going to complain. What is, like, I don't understand that. It's a normal human reaction.
Yeah, and the apologetic on this is always interesting to me that, well, all of us, the apologetic is all of us are deserving of, eternal damnation because of our inherited sinful state from Adam, right? So that therefore, whatever God decides to dole out for his purposes throughout redemptive history is okay. And that includes G-side and, all the horrible things we point to in scripture, slavery, grape as a punishment, like with David and Bathsheba. I mean, all of these things, it's like God is justified in doing them because he is perfect and because he created everything. He's within his rights to do those things. And how dare we question him? And it's like, well, by what standard are you measuring this? Because these are the claims that are laid out before you to consider. And if you look at any other deity or any other legend or claim, then you're going to look at that and say, hey, no, this is obviously immoral. But why isn't it obviously immoral when it comes to the Abrahamic God? Well, like what is, or the legend of the Abrahamic God, the Bronze Age war god from the Old Testament? It's just baffling to me that we can't. It's like all sense goes out the window with modern Christianity. It's just crazy.
Yeah, it's true. And actually, as I read this too, doesn't it sound like the Cheeto in Office? All of you who question me, you're not gonna get shit. All you, blue states, I'm gonna fuck you over because you didn't vote for me.
How dare you? How dare you not vote for me? We've got all of our best people on this. And a lot of people tried to get me out. Couldn't do it. All the Dems, they tried to get me out of office. They couldn't do it. I'm here, and all of you are now fucked.
That's exactly. And so, and to be honest with you, I think that's why people act like that, because this religion has said this is how they should act. This is okay to act this way. Right. This is not only how God acts, it's how he tells his people to act. And it's how Jesus ends up acting as well, that they're entitled and that everybody else is below them and
so wrong.
Not worth shit,
So wrong. Crystal, I got to jump, but I love you.
Okay,
you're wonderful.
Zach, I love you. Have a
Thanks
good day.
for bringing me up. Bye-bye, everybody.
Guys,
take care.
Follow Zach and go watch him when he's live.
Let's do it. Love it. All right, take care, guys.
Have a great day. Bye.
There's this like God sitting there like, all that matters is me. All that matters is my holiness, my way. And it doesn't matter how many millions, billions of people gotta burn. All that matters is me. And then like Zach was saying, Christians will make excuses for God that they would never make for any other deity or religious system.
That was part of my deconstruction, Athiel. It was at one point I started to realize I was at that point where I was thinking, wait, I don't think I believe in this God anymore, right? And so I was like thinking one day, so, because like, why do I believe in him? What makes him different than any of the other gods that people believe in? Like, I really was trying to think about it. Like, his stories, there's nothing that proves him any more than any other god, right? So that's when I was like, okay, what if you just stop talking to him? Because I've told people before, I had what I would consider a constant conversation with God in my head. Just be like, oh, God, be with the kids today. Demira's got this going on or whatever, just talk to God in, my head or whatever throughout the day. But then I realized that's because I have a fucking voice in my head. Like, I'm one of those people who has a narrator in their head all day long.
Yeah, I'm same way.
I was shocked to find out there were people who don't have that.
There was even a brief moment when I was a teenager where I got in the habit of talking to the moon. I don't know why I started doing it, and I was like a Christian at the time, but I was 12 or so, 10 to 12, somewhere in there. And I started talking to the moon and felt it talking back to me, but it's that same thing. It's that inner voice. It's that inner narration monologue, and I'm just ascribing it to something external.
Right.
But now as an atheist, I still have it. I just recognize that it's part of me.
Right, exactly how I was like, oh, yeah, that narrator is me, and it's annoying. Shut the fuck up sometimes.
As a pagan, I still talk to the moon sometimes. I'll just be like, you're beautiful. I'm glad you exist. That sort of thing.
You know what? I say that to my kitties all the time. I tell them thank you for being my kitties. But I do go outside and talk to aliens every once in a while, just in case they're listening. I want them to know that this is not my fault and that I'm willing to go anytime that they want to come and take somebody, and I'm a nice lady. Like, I just want to let them know,
I do something similar with like, I look at the Milky Way and I look at all the stars, and I'll just wave. And I think, what if around some star over there's another planet with intelligent life on it that's looking up at the sky that has waved at some point. And I'm like, maybe I'm waving back,
Right. I'm just saying, I figure this is my thought, okay? Long before we will ever, thank you, Elizabeth. How are you today? Long before we will ever see an alien, I think we will hear something from them, like whether it be a sound wave or something like that off in a distance. We will figure that out first, right? And so I'm just figuring maybe they already figured that out. Maybe they even can zoom in on certain conversations on the earth. And if they can't, hey, I'm a nice lady and I didn't do all this. This is not my fault. And our leader is an orange Cheeto, and he's in that White House over there. Go get him. Farah, how are you today?
I'm good. The chat is driving me insane.
Oh, are they? I haven't been reading much of it.
Well, someone was saying, like, he was revealed in history in Christ, and Christianity is the foundation of our civilization. Says who? The Bible?
Right? What? No.
Like, so you get all your history from the Bible? Like, everything in the Bible is all you base your whole life on. Please stop doing that. Go read other books, please.
Yeah, please. Library cards are free. Hey, Jaren, you should come up and hang out on my live today, Jaren, since I hang out on yours sometimes.
So I try not to let people bother me. I say I'm not going to talk about Jesus all the time, but it's like I haven't talked to you before, but it's like I've had some of the experiences you were talking about, and it's like, gosh, I wish I could have woke up earlier. Like, I was indoctrinated. I was like, just doing what I thought was right, and then I woke up, or whatever you want to call it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I feel so silly. Do you ever feel silly? Like, wow. Like, okay,
so now he's trying to say Western civilization. So if what you're trying to say is colonizers are responsible for Christianity in Western civilization, you would be right then. That that is probably what you meant to say, sir. We will correct you. We will help you out. Yes, colonizers are in fact the reason why Christianity infiltrated Western civilization.
Yeah, there's a difference too between Western civilization coming from Christianity and Western civilization like rebasing onto Christianity.
Right.
Because when the Romans were conquering and colonizing, like they used Christianity as a tool to do that. So they like sort of refounded Western civilization. But like if you look back to like some of the earliest writers we have that we attribute Western civilization to, like Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, etc. Like you read about their journeys where they go to Alexandria, they go to Africa, they go to India, and a lot of the ideas, like say the Logos, like they get that idea from the Egyptian Mayet, and this is pretty clear in the literature. But anyway, like Christianity is certainly something that came later.
Yeah, absolutely. Farah, the Archbishop of Canterbury has asked me to request you to speak in tongues.
I don't know. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Oh no. Okay, hold on. I gotta stop laughing.
I got the interpretation. I got the interpretation.
What is it?
Hang on, I gotta really let the Holy Spirit talk and minister to my heart. It says,
I'm going to send the Holy Spirit to you.
Thus saith the Lord, the McRib is coming back. The McRib is coming back.
Oh my God, I knew it! You guys are crazy. Y'all are crazy. Okay, all right, where did I end? What verse was I on? I will do this to all the wicked congregation. Okay, so I think I'm up to 36. Okay. And the men who Moses sent to spy out the land, who returned and made all the congregation complain against him by bringing a bad report about the land, the men who brought an unfavorable report about the land died by a plague before the Lord. But Joshua, son of Nun, and Caleb, son of Jephunneh, alone remained alive of those men who went to spy out the land. When Moses told these words to all the Israelites, the people mourned greatly. They rose early in the morning and went up to the heights of the hill country, saying, "Here we are. We will go up to the place that the Lord has promised, for we have sinned." But Moses said, "Why do you continue to transgress the command of the Lord, that we will not succeed? Do not go up, for the Lord is not with you. Do not let yourselves be struck down before your enemies. For the Amalekites and the Canaanites will confront you there, and you shall fall by the sword, because you have turned back from following the Lord. The Lord will not be with you." But they presumed to go up to the heights of the hill country, even though the ark of the covenant of the Lord and Moses had not left the camp. Then the Amalekites and the Canaanites who lived in the hill country came down and defeated them, pursuing them as far as Hormah. Okay.
Now I'm not doing it, Moses.
No, I'm not doing it. Thought we were getting tongues. That was Spanglish. Oh, you got tongues, KJ. Which is sister. I love that shirt. Oh, yay! Yeah, my Mario shirt. I love Super Mario. Okay, so that's 14. Let's go ahead and read through 15 today, and probably 16. We'll get through 15 and 16.
Can I ask you a question real quick?
Absolutely.
What denomination were you? Like, what did you believe in?
I was originally raised a Methodist. Then I became non-denominational, and eventually I went to a Quaker church.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Quite a journey.
Quakers-
Like that was interesting to me. Starting from Methodist and then going there. That's the first time I've heard of that. That's interesting.
Yeah. Quaker is much more normal than people think. People associate Quaker with the Mennonites and the Amish, but they're not like that actually at all. They just dress in everyday clothes. Mostly Quakers' beliefs are very biblically based. There isn't like an extra book of dogma or something that we have to follow. If I have a problem, I just need to approach you with scripture. Whether you're the pastor, my husband, or another member of the church, the scripture should be able to show us what to do, okay? Including what the elders are in the church. They are considered, you have to use the description that is in Acts for what an elder should be, etc. So they're very, very passive too. They do not believe in war. They believe, they don't believe that you should even protect yourself against somebody or your family.
Now, I heard something, and just maybe my understanding is wrong, and I would appreciate a correction, but didn't the word Quaker come from, I think it was some court case or something where a guy was described as like quaking at the word? Like something about the holiness of the word.
I don't remember if it's a court case, and I know that the Shakers are also known for this, but it is said that the reason they are called Quakers, because they're also called Friends. And if you've ever seen a Friends church, that's a Quaker church. So Quakers don't call themselves Quakers, they call themselves Friends. Other people call them Quakers because they would say they were so holy that they would quake in their boots. That's what they would say. But I've never seen a Quaker quake. I'll just let you know that right now.
I want that on a shirt. That's going to be a t-shirt.
Okay, I've never seen a Quaker quake. It's true, I have it. Also, so Quakers believe in speaking in tongues, but it is hardly ever done because you have to have a translator there. And since most people who speak in tongues just randomly do it, they don't really ever have, and it can't be you. It has to be somebody else that the Holy Spirit has called to translate for you. So since nobody ever was okay with doing that, for fear they would be made a fool, people don't speak in tongues in the church. They actually have tested a few times though, like where somebody would come and pretend to speak in tongues, and then somebody would go, "Oh, I have a translation or whatever, I have the message," and then they would say what it was, and then the person would say, "Oh, I was just kidding. I was like speaking in French, or I was speaking in some foreign language, and that's not what I said." So that's why people won't do it now, because they're like, we don't want to get caught lying like those people did. Quakers also do this weird thing. At the beginning of each service, they have what's called open worship. And open worship has, it's a good idea behind it, but what happens is never good. The idea is that God doesn't only speak to pastors. He speaks to everybody. That we have personal relationships with this God, right? So he might have a message for you, and you should have a time at the beginning of the service to give your message that God has. So it's like open mic, okay? The mic is open. Anybody can say whatever they want. So sometimes it just becomes a gossip fest. Just because.
Guys, I have the juiciest prayer request. Y'all need to be praying for CrystalJae. I heard she was sitting around playing Super Mario when she should have been reading her Bible. And I just pray that the Holy Spirit would convict her heart so that she can be drawn closer to Jesus.
Well, at my church, someone would speak in tongues, and then almost every single time it'd be the same older lady that would interpret it in front of the church. But she actually I was younger, but would have good interpretations. But who knows if that, that's just some scripture that came to her mind.
Yeah, exactly. So one time, my friend, who was a good little Christian Quaker, her dad was a pastor, but not at the church she went to, because she was in her first years of college. She was like a freshman. And she was a good girl who was a virgin, like she was supposed to be according to the church, right? and she was dating a guy in the church that she had been dating since high school. They were like 16 when they started dating, but they had recently broke up. And she was sitting in church one morning and he was there, and he decided to, do open worship. And he said, I just need to confess, everybody, I have not been, I have been sinning. I haven't been living the life that I should be for Jesus. And I had premarital sex with my girlfriend, and now she's pregnant. Everybody thought it was my friend. And it was some other girl, because nobody knew they broke up. So everybody thought my friend was pregnant, and she was, then she got labeled like a slut, and she wasn't even the one who was pregnant or anything. So that's how open worship can go wrong. So yeah, I don't know.
When that happens, then you have it's not just a person saying it, it's God saying it. This rumor has the authority of the all-knowing, all-powerful God of the universe behind it.
Yes, exactly.
We had something similar in our church, where I worked for Jimmy Swaggart for a long time. I was a pastor over there for 11 years, and I was a televangelist and one of his professors for a few years. But we would wait. It was you'd have the Holy Spirit soaked service, right? Where you had the worship and people were really feeling it. And then whenever there was sort of a pause, maybe even an awkward silence, someone would just start speaking in tongues. And then people would think, oh, wow, that's a holy hush that fell over the crowd. And now someone's speaking. So this is a real thing. And then inevitably, though, the interpretation that came after that would first of all, not grammatically line up in any sense with the tongues that were said. Second of all, it would usually be about what has been preached over the last couple weeks. It would be oh, what a confirmation from the Lord.
Right. There's so many confirmations from the Lord. Let's see. Let's look at some Crystal Mods. Hey Jag. Hey Lilith. Hey Nubs Revenge. How are you, everybody? I've seen Quakers shaking anger, never in love. Okay, I've seen Quakers shake with anger too. I have seen that. And it's not righteous anger either. They're just mad at me because I called them out for being hypocrites. But that's another story for another day. All right, let's go on to chapter 15. Various offerings. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, speak to the Israelites and say to them, when you come into the land, you are to inhabit, which I am giving you. Inhabit, which I'm giving you, and you make an offering by fire to the Lord from the herd or from the flock, whether a burnt offering or a sacrifice, to fulfill a vow, or as a freewill offering, or at your appointed festivals, to make a pleasing odor for the Lord. Then whoever presents such an offering to the Lord shall present also a grain offering, 1/10 of an ephah of choice flour, mixed with 1/4 of a hin of oil. Moreover, you shall offer 1/4 of a hin of wine as a drink offering with a burnt offering, or the sacrifice for each lamb. For a ram, you shall offer a grain offering, 2/10 of an ephah of choice flour, mixed with 1/3 of a hin of oil. And as a drink offering, you shall offer 1/3 of a hin of wine, a pleasing odor to the Lord. When you offer a bull as a burnt offering or a sacrifice to fulfill a vow, or as an offering or a well-being to the Lord, then you shall present with the bull a grain offering, 3/10 of an ephah of choice flour, mixed with half a hin of oil. And you shall present as a drink offering half a hin of wine as an offering by fire, a pleasing odor to the Lord. Hey, there is my rabbi friend, Hannah. I'll invite her up because I do like to learn about all these sacrifices. I don't know if it's doing it. Okay, there it is. I like to understand about the ritual sacrifices and what it meant to the Israelite people, because to me, this is all blah, 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 blah. I hear Charlie Brown's teacher's voice. You know what I mean? Because I don't believe in sacrifice. But when I listen to Rabbi Hanna or Bert talk about them, they'll explain like some of the reasons they did very specific things in the ritual. And then it makes it far more interesting to me. Okay, good. I hear I'm not alone. I'm sorry, but it's definitely Charlie Brown's teacher that I hear when I read this.
Yeah, one thing I was kind of shocked to find when I was studying this during my deconstruction was that like the precedent for these things, like the libations and mixing the oil and wine and flour and all of these things, like these are rituals that predate the Bible by some time. Like these are things that are found in other cultures earlier than what's in the text here. So they're just taking what they were already doing and changing the name of the deity on it.
Right, because if you listen, like so many times when Yahweh gets mad about sacrifices and stuff, he's not mad about the sacrifice, whether it be human or other. He's mad that it's not to him. That is all he ever gets upset about.
Back to the pick-me narcissism.
Yep, exactly. Thus it shall be done for each ox or ram, or for each of the male lambs for the kids, according to the number that you offer, so you shall do with each and every one. Every native Israelite shall do these things in this way, in presenting an offering by fire, a pleasing odor to the Lord. An alien who lives with you, or who takes up permanent residence among you, and wishes to offer an offering by fire, a pleasing odor to the Lord, shall do as you do. As for the assembly, there shall be for both you and the resident alien a single statute, a perpetual statute throughout your generations. You and the alien shall be alike before the Lord. You and the alien who resides with you shall have the same law and the same ordinance. Hey, all you anti-immigration people, hey, God says that they're supposed to be just like you, covered under your Constitution. Okay, just in case any of you were listening. What about Cain and Abel? Yeah, not a statue. Did you notice how I was pronouncing it, JT? I was going, statute. Okay, wait, what about, Grant, come up and ask me your question. Do you have a minute that you can ask it? Because I don't understand. I want to know. Thank you. I was trying extra hard, JT, to, yesterday I said something about God's statutes, but they thought I said statues, and it got confusing. So, Cain and Abel, wait, maybe, what do you guys think that Grandma Zana means by Cain and Abel? This should be for each one. You shall.
It might be referencing like the difference in what sacrifices were made between Cain and Abel and how those might not line up with Numbers 15. That's just my guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's what but I'm like, so that it wasn't fair to Cain is what she's saying, like because of this. Do you think that's what she means?
No idea. On the note of the alien being just like you, though, I've heard fundamentalists use this as a statement of like assimilation. Like, oh, the alien has to be just like us, and if they're not, they don't come into our little melting pot idea, then we're to treat them differently.
Well, we don't even give them a chance, do we? We just kick them out on the first day of court.
Speaking of assimilation, I wonder when the colonizers are going to assimilate with Native American culture.
Exactly.
We first, right?
Right, exactly. All right, Grana, what did you mean?
So when Cain and Abel did their sacrifices, they were sacrificing to God, but he still didn't accept the sacrifice. That's what I was saying. They were the one that it was to the God of their God, but he didn't like that it was. My understanding is he didn't like that it was, the sacrifice wasn't the first of the crops. It was just any old crops.
I thought he did give the so I thought it was like it didn't spill red stuff. I thought that's what. Maybe I'm wrong. I gotta go look at it.
That's what I can't remember.
Let's find out. Give me the rabbinical teaching for why God doesn't like Cain's sacrifice. And can you give me the verses, please, in the New Revised Standard Updated Edition? Now Abel was a keeper of sheep and Cain a tiller of the ground. In the course of time, Cain brought to the Lord an offering of the fruit of the ground, and Abel, for his part, brought for the firstlings of his flock their fat portion. And the Lord had regard for Abel and his offering, but for Cain and his offering he had no regard. So Cain was very angry, and his countenance fell. The Lord said to Cain, "Why are you angry? And why has your countenance fallen? If you do well, will you not be accepted? And if you do not do well, sin is lurking at the door. Its desire is for you, but you must master it." So it never tells us really why he doesn't like the offering. He just has no regard for it. He's just dismissive of Cain.
To Grana's point, there are two differences there, because for Cain it just says offering to the Lord of the fruit of the ground, and then Abel it says firstlings of his flock and their fat portion. So we don't know if the difference is because it's veggies or like Grana said, like maybe it wasn't the first fruit. I can see how you get that.
So I was getting to that part. The center teaching from both Jewish and Christian scholarship isn't that God hated vegetables or preferred animal sacrifices, but the heart and attitude toward the offering. Abel offered his best, the firstlings and their fat portion, symbol of devotion, gratitude, and sacrifice. Cain offered something ordinary, an offering. But I don't know. I'm going to say that any God who is supposed to be perfect should be a perfect communicator, and he's not communicating exactly what makes him not happy about Cain's offering. He's picking favorites, and he does it throughout the Bible. We know this because Jacob I loved, Esau I hated. He does it over and over again. He fucking hates the Amalekites because they're Esau's children. We're going to find that out. We're going to find out how much he hates them in just a minute here. But we know he hates them because they are descendants of Esau's.
Well, then my thing is, then how is he such a loving God? I don't understand this.
Only because he deems himself loving, and most Christians follow divine command theory. If God says it, does it, wills it, it has to be, because might makes right.
I mean, to be fair, I love my kids, but if one of them didn't do their absolute best on their homework, I'd put a mark on their forehead and kick them out of the house.
Absolutely.
Good, loving father would do.
Exactly. At least we have the mark to know not to beat the shit out of him, Atheist. What even is that story? Okay. There are supporting ideas to this. In Hebrews 11:4, by faith, Abel offered God a more acceptable sacrifice than Cain's. Through this, he received approval as righteous, God himself giving approval to his gifts. He died, but through his faith, he still speaks. 1 John 3:12 says, "We must not be like Cain, who was from the evil one and murdered his brother." Why did he murder him? Because his own deeds were evil and his brothers were righteous. Genesis 4:7, "If you do well, will you not be accepted?" God tells Cain the issue is his behavior and attitude, not the gift itself. Could that be why God had Satan go after Job? It could be. It could be. Cain's offering was rejected because his heart and actions were not aligned with righteousness or faith. Okay, well, I just think this God is, he's too needy for a God. He fucking needs way too. If you're so powerful, mighty, why do you need so much shit from humans? Right? Like, why do you need us so much? It's weird. We should need him more, shouldn't we? Shouldn't it be more about what we need from him?
You would think. But I mean, think about, if you believe in heaven, we're going to heaven to worship him forever. So it's all about him.
It's true.
I have these same thoughts, and I have so many of these same things that, Crystal, that you've been saying, and this is what helped me. Sorry, that's my daughter's. Start deconstructing in the first place. But it's like, why can't other people think this way? Why are they still stuck? So I'm not talking about like younger people. As you get older, like I'm wondering why they don't think this way, or they just want to stay stuck.
I think that a lot of people, when they get older, they get more cognizant of the fact that time on this earth is limited, and so they get scared of the hereafter, and they tend to play with Pascal's wager, thinking that the choice is only Jesus or nothing, and that's not true. There's thousands of gods.
Do you also think, like, I feel like this for some of my family, like it's so much a part of their identity that if they step away, that like their whole world crumbles?
Yeah, it's the lost cost fallacy. I think that there's a lot of them.
What is it called?
When you're the lost cost fallacy, like you feel like you've invested your whole life into this thing, that if you quit it now, that you've lost too much. Like that you the sunken cost fallacy. Thank you. You know what I meant to hear. Sunken cost fallacy. That everything they put into it will have been lost, but it's not true. I was a Christian for 40 years. I was indoctrinated. Of course I was going to be a Christian. Believing was the healthiest thing I ever did for my mental health, for my relationships, for so many things. And yes, I realized that I spent 4 decades believing in this shit, right? I know that. Over 4 decades probably. But I still learned a lot along the way that's helped me now to deconstruct these things and deconstruct misogyny and deconstruct bigotry and racism. And if I can help people deconstruct those harmful belief systems, then I actually I've gained a lot from all my life lessons, because I'm going to help other people. And I think that's
thank you so much. I really appreciate having an actual term for the thoughts that I have. I didn't even know it was called something, the sunken cost.
Yeah.
So now I can actually use that when I talk to people. And unfortunately I have to go, but I've listened to you sometimes, and I've seen you around. And I appreciate what you're doing. And I mean, I don't regret, I had no choice. I was indoctrinated, but I spent about 30 years, and then I slowly, I deconstructed, then I was away from people. Now that I'm back around Christians again, my brain's hurting and I have to keep just going, but I appreciate what you're doing.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for being here, you guys. Make sure you follow Farah. And Farah, I'm going to drop you a follow right now in case I'm not. And come back anytime. You're very welcome to join me.
I have to go.
Great afternoon, everybody.
Bye. Grana, what did you say?
I have to go too, but I'll keep listening.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Grana. Bye, you guys. Have a great day.
Bye, you too. Love you lots.
Love you. Okay.
You brought up the Pascal's wager earlier. I like to invert that a little bit and like change the choices to you can either hurt the world by God's will, and like in hopes that you will get a personal reward in the afterlife, or you can seek the benefit of the world regardless of what God says, and like just do the best you can for the world. So it's like you're either going to treat people like crap because it's doctrinally correct in hopes of going to heaven, or you're going to actually be a good person.
Yeah, I like that. But they don't pick the good person one. But they don't pick that one, do they? It just amazes me how many of them think that doing this stuff is good, and I don't get it. But thank you very much for the perfume, Farrah. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Okay. Thus it shall be done for each ox or ram, or for each of the male lambs for the kids, according to the number that you offer. So you shall do with each and every one. Every native Israelite shall do these things in this way, in presenting an offering by fire, a pleasing odor to the Lord. And alien. Oh wait, we just read that one. I'm sorry. Skipping down to 17. I'm sorry. I reread things every once in a while because I get lost. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "Speak to the Israelites and say to them, after you come into the land to which I was bringing you, whenever you eat of the bread of the land, you shall present a donation to the Lord. From your first batch of dough, you shall present a loaf as a donation. You shall present it just as you present a donation from the threshing floor. Throughout your generations, you shall give to the Lord donation from the first of your batch of dough." All right, Christians out there with your sourdough kids, how many of you are doing that? None of them. None of them. Get back over to the YouTubes. Jesus was not the only one to rise from the dead, but when... You're right, Jesus is not the only one to rise from the dead. Nero did too, I heard. Awesome. That's great. I'm glad you have a verse and story you like. But if you unintentionally fail to observe all the commandments that the Lord has spoken to Moses, everything that the Lord has commanded you by Moses from the day the Lord gave commandment and thereafter throughout your generations, then if it was done unintentionally without the knowledge of the congregation, the whole congregation shall offer you one bull for a burnt offering, a pleasing odor to the Lord, together with its grain offering and its drink offering, according to the ordinance, and one male goat for a sin offering. The priest shall make atonement for all the congregation of the Israelites, and they shall be forgiven. It was unintentional, and they have brought their offering, an offering by the fire to the Lord, and their sin offering before the Lord for their error. All the congregation of the Israelites shall be forgiven, as well as the aliens residing among them, because the whole people was involved in the error. I've talked about this before, and I just don't really get really good answers for it, but there was a man right after Moses was given the laws, who was walking around picking up sticks. And it was the Sabbath, and people didn't know what to do with them. So they brought them to Moses, who then had to go talk to God because Moses didn't know what to do about it either. And God was like, kill him. And they were like, okay. And Moses was like, okay, let's kill him. So they all went and picked up stones that are heavier than sticks, by the way, okay? And on this Sabbath day, and hurled them at this man until he was dead. But there was a law that said before this happened, this law existed, that if you unintentionally commit a sin, you can give an offering. And since that man didn't know he was sinning, he should have been given an offering. And here we're seeing it repeated again, that if you unintentionally sin, you should be able to make an offering and be forgiven. I still don't know why nobody addresses that with the pickup sticks, man. Yeah.
The same thing with Moses saying, didn't you say you'd forgive people? And God's like, yes.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna.
Yeah, exactly. It's just such bullshit. Yeah, right? Why is that different, Tahir? He gets, killed. And, you're killing him because he picked up sticks, and you're going to pick up a stone to do it. So... Really? Are you really that upset that he worked? I don't think you are. I think you like to kill people. Oh. All right.
More blood for the blood, God. Blood magic is what it is.
It is. It is. An individual who sins unintentionally shall present a female goat a year old for a sin offering, and the priest shall make atonement before the Lord for the one who commits an error, when it is unintentional, to make an atonement for the person, who then shall be forgiven. For both the native among the Israelites and the alien residing among them, you shall have the same law for anyone who acts in error. But whoever acts high-handedly, whether a native or an alien, affronts the Lord and shall be cut off from among the people, because of having despised the word of the Lord and broken his commandment. Such a person shall be utterly cut off and bear the guilt. So I actually brought up, I wrote the verse down here in my book. It's Leviticus 4:27 through 31. So I'm going to go back and read it to you because I wrote it down, so it meant enough to me. It bothered me enough that I wrote it down, so I'll share it with you guys. 27. 27 through 31. If any one of the ordinary people among you sins unintentionally in doing any one of the things that by the Lord's commandments ought not be done and incurs guilt, when the sin that you have committed is made known to you, you shall bring a female goat without blemish as your offering for the sin that you have committed. You shall lay your hand on the head of the sin offering, and the sin offering shall be slaughtered at the place of the burnt offering. The priest shall take some of its blood with its finger and put it on the horns of the altar of the burnt offering, and he shall pour out the rest of its blood at the base of the altar. He shall remove all its fat as the fat is removed from the offering of well-being, and the priest shall turn it into smoke on the altar for a pleasing odor to the Lord. Thus the priest shall make atonement on your behalf, and you shall be forgiven. So, obviously, oh, yay! Yay! Hi, Bert!
Hello.
You must have heard me.
How y'all
We're
doing?
just talking. We're doing good. We're in Numbers today, okay? We're over in Numbers. Right now I'm in 15.
Nice.
And we're talking about the penalty for, well, I just was getting to the penalty for violating the Sabbath, okay? But right before that, we were talking about how if somebody unintentionally sins, how you can do an offering because once the sin is revealed to them so that they could be
The
forgiven.
key is the unintentional. That's the key. That even an unintentional act can cause this pressure on the system that they're trying to alleviate. And I think the key also is it's almost like a throwaway line, but the putting the hands on the head of the animal, you're supposed to look into the eyes of the animal as it's slaughtered.
Did you ever watch Powder?
Oh yeah, the movie with the lightning bolt and the kid that's bullied the whole time and
the albino boy.
Yes.
And then remember how he makes that hunter put his hand on the animal to feel everything the animal went through?
Yeah.
I
Exactly.
always think about that when I think of these things.
Yeah.
So
I think,
here's my problem: is that the man picking up sticks never got to have somebody do a sacrifice for him, and he didn't even know what he was doing was a sin till it was brought to his attention. And the people didn't know for sure what the punishment should be or whether it was a sin, so they brought him to Moses, and Moses wasn't sure, so he went before the Lord, and then the Lord said, "Stone him."
Yeah.
That doesn't seem fair.
No, it doesn't seem fair. I think if I remember correctly, there's a scene just before that.
Okay, let's go. It's Leviticus 4. Oh wait, no, that's where the sacrifice for unintentional. Where is the man picking up sticks? Where is he?
That's still back in 15, Numbers 15, verse
Okay, it's
32.
Numbers 15. No, that's that. Oh, is this where it is? Oh, okay. We hadn't got to it yet. I was just headed there, huh? Okay, when the Israelites were in the wilderness, they found a man gathering sticks on the Sabbath day. Those who found him gathering sticks brought him to Moses, Aaron, and the whole congregation. They put him in custody because it was not clear what should be done to him. Then the Lord said to Moses, "The man shall be put to death. All the congregation shall stone him outside the camp." The whole congregation brought him outside the camp and stoned him to death, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. So right before that, he's talking about what to do if somebody unintentionally sins. Then this man unintentionally sins, and then they still stone him to death.
Well, so here's the kicker. What does it say for the violation of the Sabbath in the book of Exodus or in the book of Leviticus?
It's to be stoned to death, right?
No, it doesn't say anything. It says that they should be put to unalivement. And so the reason that it was not clear was because there was no, like, it says you should be put to unalivement, but there was no declaration of how it should be done. And so to me, the unethical thing is, and I'm not, by the way, like, nobody should be put to unalivement for, like, picking up sticks on Shabbat. Like, just everybody should cool it. But
because I play that game every Sunday.
Tiddlywinks or
I play pick up sticks. Yeah. I just throw them on the ground and then I pick them up.
Pick them up again.
I just recite 5, 6 pick up sticks unless it's Saturday.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Anyway, so I guess what I'm saying is, like, if you're in the construct of this, the bad part in their worldview is that the punishment was delayed. Like, the thing that is like questionable is the fact that the punishment was delayed, and delaying somebody's punishment is actually unethical. And so, like, the fact that we have people on death row in America for decades is, like, unconscionable in the Israelite mind. Like, the sentence should be carried, or the
execution.
Yeah, the execution should be carried out like almost contiguous with the sentence.
Yeah. Well, that's why I'm against the death penalty. But that's just me. Okay.
When I was in 8th grade, I wrote, we all had to write an argument piece that was presented before the kindergarten through 8th grade. So, like, all the 8th graders had to get up and give, it was called a chapel talk. And my topic that I chose and did research for was the inappropriateness of the death penalty on the mentally ill and mentally insane. And I came to the conclusion that anybody who does something like that actually is mentally ill. So they shouldn't have the death penalty to begin with.
Absolutely. Absolutely. 100%. My biggest problem is I don't trust my government to make decisions on speed limits. So I definitely don't trust them to make decisions on whether somebody deserves the death penalty or not. So I just don't trust my government to make these decisions. They've made too many stupid ones. Too many in my book. Okay, for the Lord said to Moses, speak to the Israelites and tell them to make fringes on the corners of their garments throughout the generations, and to put a blue cord on the fringe at each corner. You have the fringe so that when you see it, you will remember all the commandments of the Lord and do them, and not follow the lust of your own heart and your own eyes. So you shall remember and do all my commandments, and you shall be holy to your God. I am the Lord your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am the Lord your God.
By the way, sorry.
No, go ahead.
It just occurred to me. So the unintentional breaking of the commandment should still even result in unalivement. And so the system of sacrifice is what replaces that unalivement. And so, to me, there's, like, justice and mercy that are coupled together, assuming you're inside of the system. Like, we can do an internal, we can do an external critique and be like, this is absolutely insane to begin with. But, like, if we're putting ourselves into the shoes of the Israelites, like, they're saying, and, like, so if you are having this, it's like the tie a string around your finger so you remember.
Yeah.
Like, that's what the string is for. It's to be the reminder that, like, and so that in that case, you don't have any excuses when you're, like, right, you have the string around your finger, so you have no excuse now. Right. You must remember. And that's, by the way, those are the two in Exodus and Deuteronomy. It says Shamor, which means keep Shabbat, and Zachor, which is remember Shabbat.
Oh, okay. So Soul 77, I am reading, I usually go paragraph by paragraph, and I'm reading out the NRSV. So I was just reading from Numbers 1537 through 41, and you can ask questions about anything. Try to put your questions all in caps if you can, so that I see them. This is a non-believer's Bible study. Exactly what it says it is. That's what we are. We are just going through the Bible, book by book, chapter by chapter. So we are in Numbers, and I am going to start chapter 16. We're going to end on chapter 16 today. So this is what we will be ending up here today. Did you have a question, Solsos, before I move on? Because I will be happy to ask the rabbi for you, or we can look it up or whatever. Let me know. We can always come back to it. It's okay.
I want to make a comment on the
Forrest,
tassels real quick, like just
go ahead.
like there's this sort of idea that the idea of putting tassels on garments for religious or ritual purposes or anything like that is novel to the Tanakh. But like we have examples going back to the 3rd millennium BCE and early 2nd millennium of like statues, of leaves, and all sorts of writings where there's tassels on their clothing, and like symbolic as well. Like, so if you look at even Homer, the Iliad, we have what was it? Athena had 100 pennants hanging from her clothing, all gold, which of course is like symbolic language. But yeah, this is not something that is like God just introduced to the world. It's just another example of dependence on earlier things.
Bert, have we talked about these tassels though?
Yeah, Athena is after. Just to be clear, like the Greek would be after this.
Homer would be, yeah.
Oh. But have we talked about the tassels in regards to the Black Hebrew Israelites? They wear stuff like this because of these verses, right?
Yeah, but it's so funny. Like the Jewish interpretation, obviously it's not in the text, but like it's so funny how they interpret these things outside of, like, they're not in conversation with anything Jewish, and so they have these, like, they have their own interpretations of how they do that. And so they literally put tassels when in fact what it says is more like fringes or strings. And I guess a tassel is that also, but
Right.
if you give me a minute,
But
I'm going
not.
to go downstairs for a second. I can show you what it looks like. And
Oh, good, because I was like, I feel like that Bert has shown me stuff before, so I'm so glad you can show me. Okay, listen, I will yap about nothing for a minute while you go downstairs. You guys, thank you so much for 16,000 likes. Thank you also for the gifts. I do have a gift goal today. It's not a very big one. It is just 50 of these little 10 coin boos here. If you have the coin, help me reach my gift goal. If not, gifts are appreciated, but they're never required. I am going to be upgrading my computer equipment, and everybody who gifts me or sends me a tip, the tip links are in my bio. All of the money is going to help me to get a PC so I can upgrade my equipment and become a grown-up streamer, because right now I feel very amateur, to say the least. Very amateur, to say the least.
Okay, I found this on the web for how to say the least amateur. Check it out.
I don't know why Google is talking to me right now. I don't know why. That was Google, by the way. I didn't say anything about you. Why are you talking? Tomorrow night, I'm going to be live with Joyful on JA Debates. We are having a costume party. If you would like to, you should come join us. It's going to be fun. I'm dressing up as somebody, and Joyful is dressing up as somebody, and then we're going to debate pretending to be other people. So we're going to act like those people while we're debating. Hopefully we get some Christians to come up, but I think everybody's going to have a really good time. So you should come by and check us out tomorrow night at 3:30 Pacific time. And then on tomorrow in the morning, I'll be live right here. if you are in the guest box, I only bring up my friends on non-believers Bible study, but I will be doing conversations with Christians tomorrow. And so you are welcome to come back and talk with me tomorrow about anything you want to talk about. Just come on up. Bert, let me know when you're ready. I'm just yapping just to yap at this point.
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry. Let me just find one. Oh, here we go. Like several
Can
in
they
my.
give you big screen?
That's fine. So this is. That's fine. This is a prayer shawl. It's a big one.
That's cool.
Okay. And then on the corners are these fringes. So you have kind of the tassel looking things here on the fringes. But then, sorry, cookie. So you have these fringes here on the corners of the garment. And the fringes have 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I missed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 knots on them, which represent the 5 books of the Torah. And then if you combine all 4 of the corners times the number of wraps that are on each of the 4 corners, it totals 613.
Oh, wow.
I've,
That is cool.
so that's that.
All right. Well, see, that's why you guys tune into me, because we get to learn cool shit on my shows. Okay. I forget where I left off though. Does anybody remember where I was? Oh, I think we just did the fringes. Okay. Okay, so we're on to 16. Now Korah, son of Izhar, son of Kohath, son of Levi, along with Dathan and Abiram, I don't know, sons of Eliab. Am I even close on any of these names?
Aviram. It's okay. Yeah, it's
and son of Peleth, descendants of Reuben. I got Reuben right.
Reuben, yeah.
Wait, did I really say Reuben wrong?
It's the English. It's fine.
Say it. I want to hear it. I need to know.
Reuben.
Okay, Reuben took 250 Israelite men, leaders of the congregation, chosen from the assembly, well-known men, and they confronted Moses. They assembled against Moses and against Aaron and said to them, "You have gone too far. All the congregation are holy, every one of them, and the Lord is among them. So why then do you exalt yourselves above the assembly of the Lord?" When Moses heard it, he fell on his face. I just picture Moses with a lot of road rash, because he does that a lot.
He do be falling on his face a lot.
He does. Then he said to Korah and all of his company, "In the morning the Lord will make known who is his and who is holy, and who will be allowed to approach him. The one whom he will choose, he will allow to approach him. Do this. Take censers, Korah and all your company, and tomorrow put fire in them and lay incense on them before the Lord. And the man whom the Lord chooses shall be the Holy One. You Levites have gone too far." Then Moses said to Korah, "Hear now, you Levites. Is it too little for you that the God of Israel has separated you from the congregation of Israel to allow you to approach him in order to perform the duties of the Lord's tabernacle and to stand before the congregation and serve them? He has allowed you to approach him and all your brother Levites with you, yet you seek the priesthood as well. Therefore, you and all your company have gathered together against the Lord. What is Aaron that you rail against him?" Okay, so what are they all arguing about? What are these people mad about? What's Moses saying? What's going on?
So we just, literally the last chapter was about the spies, right? Do you remember the whole thing with the spies?
Yeah.
So, you have to, so the spies go into the land and then they come back and they basically freak everybody out and they start telling lies. It says calumnies or whatever, calumnies. They basically start telling lies, saying that the Anunnaki are there or whatever, and that and basically freak everybody out, and people don't have trust that they are ordained to go into the land. And so these 10 spies basically poison the water and the faith of the people, and now they've been told that they're going to wander for 40 years in the desert. And so the people are pissed. And they also have this situation with the guy who gets unalive with the sticks and all that. It's chaos in the camp. And
It is.
and so by the way, Korach, you know what his name means?
No.
Bald head. And so you must see here the connection between this story and the story with Elijah and Elisha, where the kids and the she-bears get mauled because they're calling him Korach.
And this guy's name is Korah.
Yeah, so they are calling Elisha a usurper. They're saying that Elisha is like Korach, and is in the way that Korach is undermining Moses, Elisha is pretending to be Elijah and not the real prophet.
Oh.
And so Elisha says, hold my beer, or my bear, if you will. Yeah.
Okay. You know what I picture? Like, what we really need to do is I want to remake Bible stories into like short films, but kind of like with a little updated twist. Like, I picture this to be right here. Like, we could do a Big Brother sequence. Like, they're all
So
this is all in the Big Brother house.
the way I would honestly is, this is the January 6th of the Bible.
Okay, this is the January 6th of the Bible. They're done with this Moses character and his brother Aaron, huh?
Yeah, and Korach is inciting an insurrection.
Wait, Lego did Bible stories?
Yeah, there's books. I have a bunch of them.
Oh my God, I need those. Okay.
I remember this passage being used by our leadership, ironically, to like talk about the dangers of rising up against God's anointed authority. Like, what Korah did wrong was he like the rabbi was saying, it's the insurrection. Like, who died and made you king, Moses? Like, we can all talk to God, but it's like, no, only this appointed leader has this direct line to God, and you don't.
But But that's not even the end of the story, because the end of the story is Moses falling on his face. Like, if the leadership was actually reading the story, they would say, oh, I need to assess my own role in all of this. And then if it's truly a divine appointed thing, then we need to go put some sticks in a tent and figure it all out.
Yeah. Oh, they've definitely their roles, and they have found themselves to be correct. They did it just this morning.
I have to go, Crystal. I'm sorry, but
I love you.
You too, and I want to just preemptively say, so when they put the sticks in the tent of meeting, and Aaron, in fact, here I'm gonna do this so you can see it.
Okay.
But when Aaron puts his stick in and it grows, give me 1 second to write it out.
Hey, David, I study the Bible because I live in the United States of America, where lawmakers make laws based on this book every day. I feel it's my civil right as an American and a voting citizen to know everything I can about the Bible so that I know how to oppose these laws that are taking away rights.
Is it fair to say, Crystal, that unlike Christians, you actually think it's important to understand what it meant?
Yes, exactly. I believe in education.
So when Aaron puts his stick in the tent, it turns into an almond blossom, and almonds are shekadim, and it is a anagram for kedoshim. So kadosh is holiness. Almonds are, so if you switch the letters around, shin, shin, kuf, kuf, dalad, dalad, mem, mem, yud, yud. And this is a callback to the menorah as well, which was also an almond tree, which is also a callback to the burning bush. And so there's a connection between almonds and holiness, is I think the play on words that's happening here that you wouldn't get in the English.
Oh, that's really cool.
That's why I just want to share that. Okay, all right. Thank you. Talk to you all soon.
Thank you. Have a good day. Yeah. You guys make sure you're following Rab. Amazing. And he is a friend of the show. Affectionately known as Rabbi Bert to me. So.
Toodaloo.
Have a good day. Bye, Rab. Bye-bye. Okay, Moses was very angry and said to the Lord, pay no attention to their offering. I have not taken one donkey from them, and I have not harmed any one of them. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I have to go back one. I didn't read about Dathan and Abiram. I'm sorry. Moses sent for Dathan and Abiram and Eliab, but they said, we will not come. Is it too little that you have brought us up out of the land flowing with milk and honey to kill us in the wilderness, that you must also lord it over us? It is clear you have not brought us into the land flowing with milk and honey, or given us an inheritance of fields and vineyards. Would you put out the eyes of these men? We will not come. Moses was very angry and said to the Lord, pay no attention to their offering. I have not taken one donkey from them, and I have not harmed any one of them. And Moses said to Korah, as for you and all your company, be present tomorrow before the Lord, you and they and Aaron, and let each one of you take this censer and put incense on it, and each one of you present this censer before the Lord, 250 censers, you also and Aaron each his censer. So each man took his censer, and they put fire in the censers and laid incense on them, and they stood in the entrance of the tent of meeting with Moses and Aaron. Then Korah assembled the whole congregation against them at the entrance of the tent of meeting, and the glory of the Lord appeared to the whole congregation. So here again, too, is God appearing to the whole congregation. Okay, whether it's his glory, whatever way they are able to know that this is God, right? And we talk to Christians all the time because they're like, you know, I don't know, their God is supposed to be so powerful, but why can't he do this anymore? Why is he so impotent that he can't appear to all of us? You know, it was so easy back then. He just like appeared as a flame or something. They would all know it was him. I don't know. I did want to highlight something here. The message to clear all. Oh, I want to make that note that he said about Korah meaning bald, because I will forget. There, let's put it right here. All right. Okay, before I forget, otherwise I will. Then the Lord spoke to Moses and to Aaron, saying, separate yourselves from this congregation so that I may consume them in a moment. They fell on their faces and said, oh God, the God of spirits of all flesh, shall one person sin and you become angry with the whole congregation? Yeah, that's how he is. He always punishes everybody for what one person does because he's lazy. I hate that. Did you guys hate that, like in school, that if a kid did something wrong and the teacher didn't know who it was, then you all got punished? Or like, I don't know. I hate shit like that. Take your time, figure out who the culprit is, and then punish that person and not everybody.
If you don't know, don't teach anybody.
Yeah. As soon as he finished speaking all these words, the ground under them was split apart. The earth opened its mouth and swallowed them up, along with their households, everyone who belonged to Korah and all their goods. So with all that belonged to them went down alive into Sheol, The earth closed over them, and they perished from the midst of the assembly. All Israel around them fled at their outcry, for they said, the earth will swallow us too. And fire came out from the Lord and consumed the 250 men offering the incense. So I want to make sure I'm understanding this correct. So one group of people got swallowed up, but then the other ones who have the incense get burned. Is that what it's saying? But either way, God just like killed a whole bunch more people again. He likes to kill people. And these are his own people, okay? So I know that they were disobedient or whatever, but what is the difference between him doing this and human sacrifice? What makes this any different? Because people are always like, no, our God was not into human sacrifice, which he was. But what's the difference of him just swallowing them up whole and burning them alive?
Yeah, blood as propitiation is certainly not unique to to these people, and yeah, there is really no difference because like you hear about the ancient Near Eastern practice of offering children up to deities, and Christians will be like, "Oh no, that's horrible. Our God would never do that." But like you said, there's no difference. Like he's doing exactly the same thing.
He's doing the same thing. He's just, yeah. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, tell Eleazar, son of Aaron the priest, to take the censers out of the blaze and scatter the fire far and wide. For the censers of these sinners have become holy at the cost of their lives. Make them into hammered plates as a covering for the altar, for they presented them before the Lord, and they became holy. Thus they shall be a sign to the Israelites. So Eleazar the priest took the bronze censers. They had been presented by those who were burned, and they were hammered out as a covering for the altar. A reminder to the Israelites that no outsider who is not of the descendants of Aaron shall approach to offer incense before the Lord, so as not to become like Korah and his company, just as the Lord had said to him through Moses. Can you imagine looking at that altar and knowing that every single one of those hammered out bronze censers represented a man who brought an offering before God and then was killed for obeying? Even though he's trying to say that they were killed for not obeying, but then they obeyed and then they got killed. Like, I don't know. This God is just so hungry for human life. Hi, Benny. How are you? All right, we're going to finish up this chapter. We're on verse 41. We're going to read on through 50. If you have any questions or comments or anything, let me know. Benny boy. Hey, Benny, you just missed Bert. How are you today?
Oh, I'm doing all right. Just hanging out with my mom over at my house.
Hi, Mom.
Hey, babe, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I got my bulb scope on. I don't know if you can see me.
No,
I can't see you, but I can hear you.
I can hear you too, honey. I lost my hair, so I'm trying to recover. And I looked at your wigs and that, but I do have kind of a large head, kind of an unfitting head. And I look like
we got to get you some pretty hats and pretty scarves.
That's what I'm saying.
And but my hair's really kind of coming in.
Yeah, it's growing back.
Oh, that's good.
I have another.
That's nice.
Yeah. I'm glad to see you and hear your voice.
It's good to hear you too. I'm sorry you're going through all this right now, but I want you to know a lot of people love you and we're cheering for you and we're checking in with Benny about you because we love you.
And I love you guys, and what did I say? God bless y'all.
We get it. We get it.
I'll take that from you, okay?
Hey, I gotta jump though. Seth's coming in. There's a lot of going on. Love ya.
Love you, Benny.
Love
Bye.
you,
Bye.
Bye.
I love Benny. Benny's mom is going through chemo right now. She is fighting a cancer battle. So send your love to Benny and his mom when you can. She's amazing. All right, we'll finish up the chapter here, you guys. On the next day, however, the whole congregation of Israelites, I sounded drunk when I said that. Sorry, I don't know what that was. The whole congregation of the Israelites rebelled against Moses and against Aaron, saying, "You have killed the people of the Lord." And when the congregation had assembled against them, Moses and Aaron turned toward the tent of meeting. The cloud had covered it, and the glory of the Lord appeared. Then Moses and Aaron came to the front of the tent of meeting, and the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "Get away from the congregation so that I may consume them in a moment." And they fell on their faces. Moses said to Aaron, "Take your censer, put fire on it from the altar, and lay incense on it, and carry it quickly to the congregation, and make atonement for them. For wrath has gone out from the Lord. The plague has begun." So Aaron took it as Moses had ordered, and ran into the middle of the assembly, where the plague had already begun among the people. He put on the incense and made atonement for the people. He stood between the dead and the living, and the plague was stopped. Thus who died by the plague were 14,700. Beside those who had died at the affair of Korah. When the plague was stopped, Aaron returned to Moses at the entrance of the tent of meeting. The fuck?
That's pretty violent.
He's so violent.
And like in the case of Korah, it's like his tents, his family, children. Just like, what about the kids?
This is just so violent.
Well, it makes sense though. Like Christian fundamentalism is like inherently violent, and it makes sense why.
Yes, 15,000 people dead for that, and they don't tell us how many were in the Korah affair. So there was more, so maybe more than, maybe around 25,000 people died, possibly. I don't know what that number is.
Yeah, usually when they give a tally like that, they're just talking about like fighting age men. It doesn't usually involve their wives, children.
Oh, no. No, we don't need to count those as a property, sir. We do not count the property as human life. That would be ridiculous. You guys, that's today's non-believers Bible study. I'm going to be back tomorrow. Let me run some of my topics by you, Atheist, and you let me know which one I should try, because it's been hard. It's been hard to get people to come talk to me, and I thought I was being, a little, nice. Here's one that I think might be good. Do you think they would like that one?
Ooh, I like that one. That's been an argument of mine for a while, because I was a pastor, and I remember talking to my fellow pastors and being like, so we just learned this. Why can't we share this with our congregation or develop sermons around it? And there was usually like, it'll hurt their faith if they don't really understand the full context. And so we just don't mention it. And, I'm like, well, I thought we were supposed to just like tell the truth. And like, there are insights we can get about the way the Holy Spirit works if we go, oh, this is how God did it. But like, all they were saying is if you push against tradition, people aren't going to agree with you anymore. They're going to lose their faith. And ultimately, they're going to stop donating.
Yeah. Absolutely. Also, that one was for the special. That was that special. Hang on, let me try this one. But first of all, Jaron was, you're going to get Christians who come up and go, "You're right. You shouldn't be a feminist." But I didn't even get that when I tried this.
I like that one too. That's a topic. The Bible is like inherently not feminist at all. It's quite anti-feminist, and the Bible preaches fear and shame and not love. 100%. It's negative reinforcement all the way.
Yeah, I think I'm going to try this one and the first one that I put up tomorrow, and we'll see how it goes. The pastor one and this one. Wait, how come I can't change it? Oh, well, we'll leave this one for a second. But Josephus, I'm not actually doing this topic right now. This will be tomorrow. If you want to join me tomorrow for conversations, with Crystal, I'll be live tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific time. Don't forget also tomorrow, 3:30 p.m. Pacific time, I'll be on JA Debates, and we're going to have a Halloween special, so join us tomorrow in the morning.